Has this 12-12 portal got you shifting into the shadows, forcing you to find the light? If so, stay tuned because I got 5 tips to help you expand your heart so you can shift into heart harmony, allowing you to manifest your heart's desires, which is the purpose of this portal. Let's go! Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I am a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face spheres, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today we're going to talk about the 12-12 portal and how it is helping everyone to expand their heart in order to create more heart harmony. And at the end of the day, what the purpose of that is for is in order to manifest and create with our newest, highest version of our being that we've been becoming over the last months, years, in this transition of the ascension that started in 12/21 of 2012. And as we come into 12/21 of 2018, we're completing a cycle of the ascension of putting closure to the past finally and opening the beginning and opening the space and creating expansion for us now to manifest the magic that our heart desires. But to do that, we're going through this other layer of shadow work, really is the best way to call it, because it's the deepest part of ourself personally that we're working, as well as the deepest part of the collective that is connecting the expansion of not only our own hearts into the contrast and the duality of both sides of us, that allows us to align with all that is in the contrast and the duality of the collective, which then helps us to align with the universal Christ consciousness and to re-template the new way of loving, the new way of being, the new way of manifesting. And so from about the 11/11 portal here in 2018, we've been already ramping up to the 12/12 portal, and really what the 12/12 portal is, the opening to the new beginning, and the new beginning that technically starts on 12/22 of 2018. So everything has transitions. Nothing is black and white, but everything is in perfect alignment for the next phase, the next series, the next thing that's coming. And where we're at right now in this heart expansion, we're being asked to align with the spirit of the lion as well as the deer at the same time. And that's why I'm going to share with you 5 tips here at the end that's going to help you expand your heart so that you can manifest your heart's desires from your new highest version of yourself in the new beginning. Because as I said, we're putting an end to the past. And if you have not put an end to your past, the universe is coming through in this time to do like a push, a shove, to really help you dig into the shadow, because in this energy, in this new timeline, you can't hide. You can try to run, and at this point, running is not really even an option because you're being forced to face it if you have not faced it. And that's creating resistance, that's causing more turmoil, more challenges, more struggles, more suffering. And so I just want to share with you too a little bit of like some of the big keys that are coming up here that you're being forced to let go of. Is what is the resistance. Like resistance is a very big thing that's being coming up, to let go of the resistance of change, the resistance to fear, resistance to moving forward into new relationships, resistance to we're having all these triggers come in to trigger the ego, to trigger self-conflict and self-judgment. So at the end of the day, what all these triggers are doing and what all the shadow work's doing, even though it's happening collectively, we're being forced to do it inside of ourselves. That's really the collective consciousness within our own self, that we're all these pillars of light that came here to bring and share our light into the world. And so in order for light versus dark, and for us to continue to flip this in the collective consciousness, we have to hit those barriers of the shadows that are in the collective. But that means to do that, we have to hit the shadows within ourselves. And it's a very deep place. And a lot of times people are looking at this in a place of, this isn't even me. It's not even mine. And in some ways it's not. It's the outer shadows coming in to force you to the inner shadow, but then hitting the inner shadow also clears the outer shadow. And I've been experiencing this even personally. I've been working with a lot of people, like connecting with a lot of people one-on-one when I just returned from Europe, UK, and had visited London and Glastonbury, which is the heart chakra of the world. And so even leading up to that, I was doing a lot of this opening and expanding and being shown all this heart energy before I went there. And then to be working in the heart of the world in this timeline, I always am doing this collective work, as a lot of us, even if we're not even aware we're doing it. But I'm always being shown these things in order to help share with others what they're going through. So I want you to know that if you're feeling this deep, 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 deep shadows, the key is to stop resisting that in itself, to surrender to the shadows, really is what I'm saying here. Because when you can surrender to the shadow and that darkness, and you're opening up to the other, that is the expansion that I'm talking about. And that is helping us to create the courage and the confidence and be courageous as the lion, and to create the heart of a lion, where we're being able to activate and pull in our strength and our power. And it's really us taking back our power here in this collective retrieval that we're doing for our soul's evolution. But at the same token, as I mentioned, we're becoming and asking to shift into the soft side of ourselves, the compassion side of ourselves, the silent side of ourselves, the dear, the kindness, the listener, the less action, and to do all of that at the same time. And it can be very confusing because it's a manner of, you know, we've tried to cut out one side or another, or we haven't even, let's say, our courageous side come through. And we try to, from the deer standpoint, we try not to feel that softer side, and we can run from that. But now's the time I'm telling you, you can't. You're not going to be able to run from these things. And it's because it's expanding your light. It's expanding your heart. It's helping you shift into your own empowerment. And the sooner, as I said, you let go of the resistance and realize some little key tips here would be to know that in your change of perception, that you're growing through this versus going backwards. You're growing through it. You're not going backwards at all. And it's really just helping you decide and decipher what you don't want versus knowing what you do want in the process. And to do this, we're being also asked to release our stories, to let go, not get caught up in the suffering anymore. Because in the past, when we might be going through the shadow work, we've hung on to the suffering, or we felt we've needed the pain for the experience, when now really all we're doing is being tested to introduce our new way to handle things, our new template, and being tested to say, no, I can stand in power, and I can rise above this, and I can use my new way to handle this from the way I know I've been shown, and I can use this opportunity to put that into motion going forward. And it's helping us to heal. Basically, this portal is to go through and heal our old ways. And as I mentioned, just really put the close to the past, closure, and create the space for the new beginning, so we can create from our heart. And in doing that, what we're also being triggered with all these triggers is coming full circle of healing this past and rewriting our stories down to, like, literally templating that in energetic grids and revisiting places and spaces that we've been before, shifting timelines, changing the energy, changing our patterns, and helping us find our own inner value and discover our own integrity and to create our own strength that can only come from within. And so many people have been also being forced in this to be able to like only find that strength from within. But I want to clarify something here, because I reached out 2 or 3 times during this timeline for my own guidance and my own clarification and understanding of what's happening. Just because you're being asked to go within to make maybe your own decisions doesn't mean you can't reach out for the support and assistance, for the help. People get that really confused on that. They feel like, oh, I have to stick with what only can make my own decisions, my own answers, but that doesn't mean you have to do this journey alone in the process of it, which is what we've been taught, not to do it alone. We've been taught to reach out. We've been taught to ask for help in this process. And that's allowing us to be the deer so we can open up. And, that came to me through a Rumi quote this week about, the ending of it was about being the lion or the deer. And the lion and the deer both been big, like spiritual guides for me, or like animal totems for me, like through this whole journey. And then it started making sense as I was bringing all of this full circle and the expansion of, the lion and the deer. It just started making sense, because I personally have been feeling the full circle, the full cycle. And I've been saying this for a while, but I mean, really, where I can tell the past is the past. And my trip to UK really hit some shadows to like help me release resistance, to like being able to let go of stories and rewrite things, and to repattern my own templates and put them into motion and know my own timelines that I can shift. And then it's really raising my vibration. It's increasing, impacting my energy. And I can totally see now, like the whole point of this last, I felt like this last little bit was being put into a blender and just being all of it chopped up at once, and everything I've like learned for 25 years and probably my whole soul's eternity was being like all revisited all at the same time again. But to be able to shift through it really quickly is important. So let's now talk about those 5 tips that I want to share with you to help you expand your heart, and so that you can manifest your heart's desires. And the first one is I kind of started presenting a little bit of this, is surrendering to your resistance, is saying that I'm going to follow through with something that I've been putting off. And so that's where I want to challenge you in that surrendering to the resistance. I personally did it as well. Something that I didn't even know that I needed to follow through with, or that I needed to do. But as it started creeping back in over the last month and a half, questioning, am I really supposed to do this, and or not, being put in a position to getting stronger and stronger, showing that I should, and then surrendering to the resistance to that. And, I kind of made this saying this last week came to me, that when we can surrender to our greatest resistance, it opens the space, creating an open heart to where anything's possible in that space, and everything is possible in that space, really. And so if you have been feeling the resistance to change, if you've been feeling the resistance to fear, if you've been feeling the resistance to following through with something that you've been putting off, now is the time to follow through with your greatest resistance, because it's going to create your greatest breakthrough. And there's going to be something on the other side of that that's going to be powerful, powerful, powerful. So use this portal of the 12-12 shift here, of shifting into heart harmony, to surrender to this resistance, because it will help you expand your heart and align with the greatness of what it is you came here to experience. Number 2, stay open and detached. Okay, I've said this for a long time. I can't say it enough again, because I'm seeing this also continue, and especially in the twin flame journey. So I want to elaborate on that a minute in this space of this open and detached space, because we as twin flames here in this portal are all about the heart and creating heart harmony and anchoring the love vibration into the planet and expanding our light to connect to the realms of the universal grids of the diamond light into the cosmic universal grids of the diamond light into the earth grids of the earth plane. And we're the conduits that's connecting as it is in heaven, so it is on earth. And then anchoring all of this through the heart, so that like this heart can expand and this harmony can go outward, and we can create and connect to the universal Christ consciousness of the open heart and bring love into form in so many powerful ways. And when it comes to the beloved, so many people are still either not detaching from that concept or the idea of anyone, basically, or they're not staying open to someone else, or they're not staying open to allow their beloved to come in to help break them apart, to dump the heart out, but staying open to allow that same energetic pattern of their twin or their beloved to also heal them at the same time. So the more you can stay present into the now and that, the more that you can stay open to allowing the lessons to come through, and to remember that these lessons in your perception are that these challenges are not here to hurt you. They're more of a way to expand you, to expand your light. And it is really that their trigger within you is only to take you into the deepest shadow within yourself, so that you can then help to align with more of yourself that will help to expand your heart, to expand into all that is, to tap into that universal Christ consciousness and manifest and live your dreams. And then staying open to that and detached from any outcomes, and detached from people, and detached from the experiences, and detached from the stories, and detached from all of the pain and the struggles and the suffering and the fear that comes along with it. And when you stay open, it says that you really trust this process, and that you really trust yourself, and that you see all of these things as your guide and as your teacher and as your lesson. So if you're still in that space of staying attached to something, you're only attached because there's a fear of letting go. And that is usually due to, number one, of the resistance of the release of that. So they kind of do piggyback a little bit, as a lot of these things do. And number three is about embracing the contrast in this, finding the duality. And what happens is most people think that they get off their path when they hit a place of darkness, or they hit a place of the shadow, or that you're not in alignment with all the positive things, or that you're hitting the duality and you want to run from these darker, deeper things, and you're not getting off your path. It means you're getting on your path when you embrace this contrast, because contrast will exist. And as I said, to have the expanded heart, to open up and create the heart harmony within this, meaning that you're becoming restored, whole, balanced through the idea and the concept of surrendering, letting go of the resistance, letting go of the attachment, staying open, and staying open says you can now receive, right? And you're learning through the process that in this process, you no longer want certain things, and you're being tested to know, I don't want that, but I know I do want that, which is another reason why during this portal, you're revisiting what you don't want, so you can really clarify really clearly what you do want. So now going into the new year, you're going to be set up in 2019 to be able to manifest your heart's desires very clearly, because you've hit the shadow of the contrast, and you have become more of the lion and the deer. And that kind of piggybacks into going into the fourth one, which is doing a soul retrieval. I'm going to tell you how to do it in a minute, but it's really about taking back your power, and all the places that you gave away your power and you've allowed yourself to be robbed of energy through people, places, things, experiences, that you're going back and revisiting those people, place, experiences, and pain and struggle, and looking at it saying, what did I give away, and what can I take back from that? And really just, going through that everyone and every experience in, you know, your consciousness that's still maybe coming up, and say, you know, I might have felt weak in this. I might have like been enabling myself. I might have been codependent, but in the empowerment now, these are my new templates, and I might have gave you my power then, but I'm going to take it back now. And see your power coming back to you. See the cords of energy being cut. And this is being the soul retrieval. This is taking back your power of all the fragments that you gave away to everyone. And this can be not only in this life with people and experiences, this can be through the evolution of your soul, in an aspect of, you know, we incarnate from different color rays each time, and in each color we've been a fragment of something, and we've learned a specific, we chose to learn a specific lesson and virtue and have a different mission at each time we've been every color ray. Now, as we collect all these fragments and these pieces, and we're letting go of what doesn't serve as purpose anymore, and we collect that, we're restoring the oneness within, which is restoring all the colors of the color ray, which is where the rainbow light and the diamond light is coming back together in the restoration of oneness and wholeness and completeness. Now we've regained power. And then in that power, you know, we're able to then embrace that contrast on both sides of us and, you know, act out that spirit of the lion. At the same time, we do number 5 of the heart retrieval, act out the spirit of the deer. So in number 5 here, I'm telling you to do a heart retrieval, to also in all the places you gave love away, that you either didn't allow it to come into your life, or it wasn't given back to you. Maybe it wasn't even given back to you, but then also maybe it was given back to you, but the whole thing was you were closed off and you couldn't receive it because it felt like it was attached to pain to you, so you wouldn't take it or allow it because you felt like it would be taken away or be connected to a price tag and it would create more pain for you, so you didn't stay open to receive the love in return. What I'm telling you is to become now, go back through those experiences and see as a heart retrieval of these places you gave away this love, but you didn't allow love into your heart or your life. And then to take that love back, as in like maybe just see yourself receiving it and filling your heart up with all these painful experiences. And even as you see the painful experience, say thank you for the lesson, and that you can love that lesson now, and that lesson gave you love because the lesson taught you to love yourself, and now you're retrieving your heart is what I'm saying. That's creating the openness to your heart. That's creating and restoring the heart that you have closed off, you have blocked, and it's been in pain. And now you can go forward in full trust and allowing love into your, not only your heart, but in your life. And that's going to allow you to trust your heart now. It's going to allow love to bridge the gap of where you are to where you want to be as you manifest and you move forward. And then now you begin to trust it so you can trust your heart. It's your inner GPS. You can believe in magic. You can believe in love. And now you'll listen to your heart and not your head, and open you up to expanded versions of instant manifestation to bring forth all of your heart's desires from a place of unconditional love, that there's no expectations to it, but that you know that you can just feel, because when you feel this, you feel yourself being complete, being whole, being restored, having the spirit of that deer, but yet courageous as the lion. And that's going to restore passion and bring prosperity and possibilities into your life. And so as I say that, I want to share with you, in my Reboot Your Soul online course, and being asked by guidance, I don't know how long this will be available as a free tool, but even if you have signed up for my online course free trial, I'm going to make, there's a segment in it called Heart Harmony Healing Transmission to retrieve your heart, just as I'm saying. And because this is the heart portal to create the heart expansion so you can manifest your heart's desires, then in this portal, as we bank into the closing out of this year, hitting all these shadows to blast them out, to create the light, to go into 2019, creating heart harmony and heart healing and heart desires, that transmission that I did to restore your heart will be in the link below on my free trial, the online course. Check it out. There's going to be a heart harmony healing transmission you are to do during this portal. That it's part of my course that I'm going to make as a free part of the free trial. And if you've done the free trial and you've went in and looked around some of the free things that I've had in that in the free trial of that course, go back, because this is going to be just made available today as part of the free trial. Okay, so wow, this is a beautiful time. It's an intense time, but with the intensity brings beauty out of our ashes, brings pleasure out of our pain, brings everything that we've worked this hard to get to come into full alignment with, and see it in your perception as a beautiful opportunity to let go of your past and to create an end and to say it's done and it's a new beginning, and claim that as you allow yourself to experience all that is and aligning with all that is and connecting with the universal Christ consciousness of all that is, so that you can let love live in all areas of your life, and you can let your light shine and go forward with passion and pleasure and joy and harmony. So with that, I feel complete. So much love to you. Many blessings. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.